Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. So before I get into this video and the topic of this video, I just wanted to say a few things. I wanted to say thank you guys so much for giving me ideas and topics of opinions that you want to hear. So you want to hear kind of like my experience with it, maybe advice that I would give somebody, with a grain of salt, of course. So I really appreciate that. Second of all, I really appreciate all the questions that you guys have given me for my Q&A birthday one. I should have said birthday Q&A, that sounds better. But I want to say thank you guys. There are some really great, tough questions, but I know that with my journey, there is a lot of questions and there could be some, a little bit of an answer out there for somebody that is searching for an opinion, right? And that basically leads into the topic of this video. Also, if you guys are seeing this same shirt in my Q&A, that's probably because I'm filming this back to back from doing this video, because I just figured it's just easier and then I'll just upload it. But yeah, so why do I do these videos? Actually there was a conversation that I had with a family member today about, talking about mental health and sharing your experiences and stuff. And, what they said was a really good thing, that, you don't want to get on and just jump into whatever you're dealing with, right? And I get that. I totally get that. Something as severe as what I went through, I lost my voice, right? I lost a piece of me, and I don't think I'll ever get that piece back. And that's not putting myself down, guys, or anything. That's just a fact. And with everything that I went through, of course, there was mental health that came along with it. There's no escaping that. There's no, hiding from it. That's just fact. And the thing is, guys, that, I can get on here and act all professional and like I have all my crap together and just put it out there like this is what you have to do and so on and so forth. But that's not true. I'm not a professional. I haven't gone to school for any of that. And even if I did, I don't think I have any right to come on here and just spill facts. Because the reality is nobody goes through an experience the same. Everybody deals with it differently, and they can see a different angle of the situation or experience, even if they weren't there and they can hear, context of it, maybe they can see from other sides of it, right? An outside source. And, I can't come on here and just say this is fact, right? Because there's always other sides to the story. And, some people can say, well, what you're saying is bullshit. That can never happen. And that was my biggest fear for the longest time, that nobody would believe me coming on here and talking and sharing my story. Now, from day one, I have stated that I have never wanted anything in return. That I never wanted, fame and glory and all that bullshit that comes with it. I wanted to share my story of not to like, I don't even know if, okay, I'm just gonna say, I always come on here and if I can reach that one person, and that is a very long reach. I know that maybe I'll never meet that person, right? And if I can help that one person, great, fantastic. I'm really glad that, maybe they took a little piece of what I had to say, or like realize that they could reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be me, but somebody that they can get help from, right? And that's great. But the thing is, in this conversation that was with this person, this family member, said basically that you want to reach the people that are in your life. And that's true. I mean, I do, you know, that inner circle, right, of those people that everybody knows and whatnot. And yes, is this a shitty way to come out and say all the shit that I went through to my close family and friends, right? That they have never heard this story before. And they're like, wow, you're putting it on the fucking internet to see your dick. Granted, that hasn't come yet. No one said that to me in my close circle. But I know that there's a possibility. And it is very hard to sit down, and talk to your close circle of friends and family and see the expressions on their faces. Or, hear not the, like, bad crap. It's like, oh, why didn't you come to us? Why didn't you tell us? Blah, 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 blah. Why didn't you tell us back then? Why did you wait so long? And the whole thing is, and then this is the lesson that I've taken away from this. You can't sit down and force somebody to share something that they aren't ready to share. Okay, and I know this video is not making a lot of sense, but it'll come full circle. And yes, is it fair that I'm sitting down talking to the internet about my shit before sitting down to talk about it? Yes, it's a little bit unfair because they're gonna maybe see this one day and be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, what? Like, why didn't you come to us? Right? That's the big question. And sometimes it is easier to talk about trauma or situations to people that aren't close to you. I have had people talk to me personally about situations and experiences that they have gone through. And this isn't like over the computer or whatever. This is face-to-face, human contact, that they have seen my videos or been a part of the Never Give Up community. And we've had conversations and, they've reached out to me because they feel like they can trust me. And I hope that, eventually I will earn more people's trusts. But it is sometimes easier to tell your story to a complete stranger. Not even a story, but like your trauma or your experiences. Because there's no shame. Now, I know how that sounds. You're going to be like, you're talking to a complete stranger and there is no shame? Like, okay. When you talk to your close family and friends, you can see the sadness and the guilt and the anger and the, like, oh, you're better than this and stuff. And sometimes even if they don't say it, you can see it written on their faces. And that's just human reaction, right? From somebody that you love and care about, they went through all this shit. Like, of course you're going to have questions. Of course you're going to have concern. And of course you're going to have feelings. But what I went through was very unique. I get that. A lot of people have not experienced that. And I hope nobody will. But there are situations where certain parts of it people can relate to, that they've gone through, and they feel like they are completely alone. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know how to go about dealing with it. And, if they can sit down and listen to a complete stranger and realize that, yes, you can deal with your trauma. You can talk about it if you want to. There's many different avenues to go about it, right? But you still don't have to have your shit together. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have this perfect image of like, you dealt with your trauma, now everything's going to be okay. That's not how it usually works. I mean, some situations, of course, all situations are different. But, that trauma is never going to go away. Yes, maybe you've dealt with it, but it's always going to be a part of you, right? And, you're not going to have everyday rainbows and butterflies and, everything is going to be shiny and bright and you're going to be smiling. You can still have those bad days, but still be a good human being. Your life can seem like a complete mess, and that is okay, that you don't know what directions you're going into. You had all these dreams and they got torn down, and now you have no idea what direction you're going to, but you feel like you have to have your whole life together because, you know what? if somebody reads that something is wrong, that you are damaged goods, that you're dealing with a whole bunch of shit, they won't love you. They won't care about you. They won't hire you. And yes, that is a fucking risk, you know, that you're gonna sit here and, you know, question everything about yourself and, you know, put on this like tough, strong armor, like you got everything together, and then when you get home you completely fall apart because you just don't know. You just don't know how to feel. It is, you know, it feels better to pretend to be somebody you're not, because you rather do that than deal with all your crap. And yes, I have been down there multiple times, guys, and I'm not saying, you know, that's how everybody's gonna feel, but that's my point that I'm trying to do when I do these videos, that there's not one set emotion, there's not one set feeling, there's not one set path that, you know, magically has all the answers. You know, your emotions can change, your feelings can change, your paths can change, and that's okay. You know, you don't have to be somebody just because somebody next to you is that person, right? You don't have to have the same path as somebody, you know, just because they might have gone through the same trauma or they might have gone through the same experience. You have to be that strong, you know, person, and because you see that their life is together, or you see that somebody's gone through something terrible, you know, or you've heard that they've gone through something terrible, or they experienced something that, you know, wasn't right or whatever, or, you know, they lost a job but got a new job and look at them, they're succeeding, you know, they have all the life together. Yeah, that might seem like it on the outside, you know, but in the inside, it can be a completely different story. And that's kind of why I do these videos, and just saying that it is okay. You know, it is okay to just not know. It is okay to feel all these things and not have the exact words for it. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not alright, you know? Again, I'm not saying that this is how it's for everybody, and that is obviously a thing. You know, not everybody's the same. Not one person is the same. Not one person experiences different things in different ways, you know? That made no sense. Not, you know, but what I'm just saying is, this is why I make these videos. You know, I don't have all my shit together. I'm trying to create something that I hope will work out in the long run. I'm trying to better myself on another many path that I have taken. And it's a new journey. And yes, there's a lot of unknowns. And there's a lot of uncertainty. Does it scare me? Hell yeah. Do I sometimes just break down and cry? Yeah. You know, I don't, you know, it's just because something happened, you know, a day ago, a month ago, a year ago, 10 years ago, doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. You might not ever have all the answers, you know? You might not ever have the answers, and that is okay. It's okay to be you. It is okay to be messy and have all your shit together and not have all your shit together. It is okay just to be a person. And yes, does my experience make me any different than I once was? Of course. And I'm always going to be changing. I'm always going to be evolving. I'm sometimes going to slide down a hill. Sometimes I'm going to be a complete mess. Sometimes I'm going to be a complete bitch. Sometimes I'm going to be angry and not know what to do with those feelings. And sometimes I'm going to be scared. But that is okay. I am okay with that. I used to be so afraid of that. I used to be so afraid of not having anything together. I was afraid to not be perfect. I was afraid just to be me. And it has taken me a very long time to get to the point of saying, you know what, screw it. I am what I am. You know, I'm going to chase my dreams. I am going to be this messy and complete human for a while until, you know, I get those missing pieces. And obviously it's going to suck for a little bit. Obviously there's going to be highs and lows, but that is okay. And this is why, there we go, speak. I do these videos, you know? I do not have all the answers. You know, I can only share what I went through, my opinions, my experiences, and start conversations with people, because sometimes you have all this knowledge or all this experience and you just want to split it out. And I've been there, and you want to just be like, you're not alone. You know, it's okay. And it is okay to take your time and just, you know, wait. It is okay to just wait until you're ready. You know, you can't force anybody to do anything until they are ready. And I am ready. I have been ready to share my story. Is it going to piss off a lot of people? Probably. Is it going to have people question a lot of things? Yeah, probably. Is it going to ask a lot of questions? Yeah. Am I going to get uncomfortable questions? Of course I'm going to get uncomfortable questions. But I'm prepared for that. You know, I am prepared for people that believe me and people that don't believe me. Trust me, guys, I went through 5 years of basically nobody giving a shit about me and not believing me. And that's not saying that everybody was like that. There was people that tried to, but, you know, I wasn't ready to share my full story. And there were people that turned the blind eye. They knew exactly what was going on, but they just didn't. They turned the blind eye. And I've grown thick skin, guys. And, you know, sometimes that thick skin, you know, cracks. And again, that is okay, guys. You know, that is okay to not have all the answers and to have all of that. But I'm going to do my best as a human being to just share my story, share my experiences, share my trauma. Because, you know, not everybody has a voice yet. And that's okay. That is honestly okay. It has taken me a very long time to find mine, guys. And, you know, if I'm lucky enough to earn your trust and you guys feel safe enough to reach out and talk to me, then thank you. Thank you for trusting me. And I will never squash that trust. You know, I'll always constantly be willing to work for it, to not break that trust, you know, to prove to you guys that you can trust me. So that's kind of why I do these videos. And thank you for joining me on this crazy, crazy adventure that, you know, has us moving on through the world. Anyways, guys, enough of deep talk and enough of me rambling on. I'm going to leave you guys here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday evening / Monday / whenever you are seeing this. I hope everybody's staying safe. And remember, never give up. Always keep fighting. You are enough and you are very much loved. Until the next video. Bye, guys.